What's going on, guys? It's Ryan from RPS Dent Specialists coming to you with a little project I've been working on for a little while. It's called the Dent Digest. Tonight's going to be a quick intro on kind of what these stories are going to be about. The next few episodes are going to be epic, have a huge lineup coming. So, what this show's really going to be about is real stories, real texts, and real reviews on a lot of these tools that are upcoming, older tools that we use on the daily. So what I mean in the real tech stories is you have the up and coming techs, the techs like me that are kind of been in the business for a while, and you have the OG techs. And as in the up and coming and newer techs, you have techs like Boz Dent Repair from Georgia. Awesome guy, just getting into the industry, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out, his path in the whole dent repair world. So you have techs like me that are trying to grow their business, trying to train new techs, trying to get techs involved in your business, trying to grow. So they're the stories also that you want to hear that you don't hear the grinding end of it. You have the OG techs, you have the Mike Toledo, and he's got a unique story himself, how he started, how he teamed up with John Hiley to do the dent trainer program. Now he has his full-time training location in California. So you guys want to hear how he started. You also have the Dave Johnson, 20-year tech with Dent Wizard, his trials, his tribulations of coming up in the industry. Like I said, it's just stories that I felt like needed to be heard because you don't hear these stories. There's so many new techs out there that are trying to figure it out that we all can share information and try to get this stuff out. So that was the main purpose in my real texts and real stories, was bringing you this stuff live, getting it out there to where it's raw, it's real, and it's just good information. Each tech can kind of take some information from each other and apply it to their business now. So I just thought it would be a great thing to bring all these techs on, kind of get them out there. You have Mike from Heavenly Hail Repair, has a really unique story. He's super, super positive. If I'm having a bad day, I go on his social media and he is just so positive, super funny, just a really good guy. So make sure you check him out on Instagram. Sometimes it's hilarious. So in the heading, I'm also talking about the real tool reviews, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And what that's going to be is some tools that I bring on to where, they're going to be my go-to tools. And it's also going to be tools to where I'm like, I'm probably not going to use this. I have something else that I like better. Every one of us out here in the field use different tools. You can line up 10 techs, and all of us have a different lineup of tools that we really, really enjoy. Different from one guy to the other. So there's why there's so many tool manufacturers out there. With that tool review end of it, I wanted to bring the tool manufacturers to the show also. You guys, I'm sure everybody knows James Lee from Eliminent. You've got to hear his story, how he started as a tech, grew his business, started building the Eliminent lights, and he's going through his trials right now. He's been trying to bring that Hail light to market for the last 2 years, and he's beating his head up on the ground about the plugs. He's having issues with a collar with a plug, and it's just beating him down. So I want to hear that story, how he got to that point, how he produced the tool, manufacturing, molds, all that stuff that you don't hear. Dave Stream's story on how he came to market with the edgy hanger. You got to think about the time and the time that he's put into building that tool and bringing it to market, and the failures. I want to hear how many times they've failed on a tool to get it to where it is. How much time they have involved in building that tool to make it a market tool that's really good. The good thing in our industry is these guys warranty their products. They stand behind them. If you break a light, you reach out to James Lee, he'll do whatever he can to help you. So we're very lucky in our industry to have those guys that make these tools that stand behind them. We're going to be mixing it up this year. It's I'm not big on sitting behind a desk. I'm kind of a raw guy. I do a ton of body shop work, and I'm going to have different locations periodically. So you're going to be like, wow, where is he at? We've got cars in the background, we've got projects. Uh, I want to bring the insurance adjusters on here to really pick their brain on how they feel about paintless dent repair, how they can apply it to their writing estimates, and the benefits of it on our end. I'm going to bring the body shop owners on, and the body shop owners are unique. I do a ton of body shops myself, and how to build that relationship with those body shop owners, and really, you know, it's profitable. It really is profitable. So I want to hear the body shop owners of saying, yeah, this is why we use paintless dent repair. Yes, it's profitable for the body shops, and it's profitable for you. It's a really good, relationship you can build with these body shop guys. And, with the real world stories, some of these stories are perfect example. Going to MTE this year, sitting at the bar having drinks and having a real life story with somebody you usually wouldn't have a real life story with, and getting their background, and you're like, holy moly, it's a lot like my story. So you're not alone out there. Um, there is a live chat running right now. I'm sure you guys are commenting. As you know, I'm a one man show now. So with those comments at the very end of this show, I will respond at the very end, fill all the comments out to you, kind of be raw with it. If you have any questions, the biggest thing with this, a lot of guys were reaching out and they were like, if I have questions, if there's a tech, a tool, a manufacturer, anything you have any questions, please, message me, send me a private message. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, I'm on everything. So just send me a quick message. Hey, I want to hear from James Lee, or I want to hear from Chad from Endeavor Tools, or any of these guys. Send it over. It's just really good information. I want you guys to be able to, conversate in the chat also. So you build that community that way, and you meet a lot of really good guys. Um, I want to give you a little background on myself. So I'm Ryan. Obviously, you guys will know because you're here watching me on my YouTube channel. And I originally started kind of figuring out what paintless dent repair was. I was at CarMax in Laurel, Maryland as an inventory manager. And I would see these guys run around with a wizard on the side of their truck. And I'm like, what are these guys doing? And these guys were like, oh, they're the dent guys. And I'm like, what is a dent guy? I've never heard of a dent guy before. So the next 3 months I'd watched them work. And I'm like, man, that's really, really cool. And then one day, a good friend of mine, Dave Johnson, rolls in his Dent Wizard truck and gets out. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm a Dent Wizard." So we just chat, had a really good conversation for a while. And he he was explaining how great the job was, how great the company was, how much fun he was having, how much money he was making, and I was really interested in it. So I ended up leaving CarMax, taking a job with Dent Wizard, work for them for 9.5 years, and really learn the business, learn the business of paintless dent repair, learn the business of relationships, and had some really good techs on our team when we were here in Maryland, really strong here in the Northeast. So it was a really, really good experience. I ended up leaving the Dent Wizard, working for a couple other companies, and then decided to kind of really start building my brand. And it originally was Ryan Shutt Dent Repair. And it was just like a crappy little business card, kind of going out, doing retail. I had some of my body shops that I serviced for a long time and doing their work and just slowly building it. And then decided to change it, convert it over to the RPS Dent Specialist and really grow. Pushing the retail, really built my body shop route, from the ground up. And the networking, that's one thing in this industry that you guys really need to do is go to these network meetings. If you're in any small town, they have these little network meetings and breakfast clubs and stuff, and you can go in and really meet a bunch of these guys. I used to go to a breakfast on Saturday mornings, and it would be 8 or 10 business owners in the area, and it really helped me build that network of guys. And tow truck drivers are always in and out of of body shops. Or so I really grew, and now I'm at a point to where I'm expanding. I'm hiring techs, training them, trying to get them on the road, and going through that trials and tribulations too. I've called other techs and said, "Hey, how are you working through this?" Or because a lot of this stuff is uncharted ground and you just don't know. So, um, that's the main thing with me. It's I'm a raw guy. We're out here. We're all in this together. And the reason I wanted to do this was get those real stories out that just aren't out there. Um, it's I don't want to talk a lot of business tonight. I wanted to keep it short and simple, just to kind of give you a brief bring up of what this show is going to be about. Um, and we've got an amazing lineup of techs, tool manufacturers, locations, um, things that I think you'll really be interested in. And little projects that pop up, little guys, projects other techs are working on that need some input. They're going to bring them on. I'm working on a project right now myself, and I'm launching satellite locations all over the state. And the reason I did that was I rent space at a body shop now. So I really wanted to have a location, but in my area where I'm pretty heavily populated, property is extremely expensive. And you get to that point, and you're like, I don't know if I can afford $10,000 a month, or $5,000 a month, or whatever it is. So I came up with an idea to where I pick my bro shops, which is, the guys that I have really good relationships with, and went to them, put a whole kind of contract together, and came to them and pretty much said, "Hey, here's an idea. If I can use your address, the signages for the building, and it's a partnership. They're I'll get calls for stuff that needs body shops, and now I'll just direct it to them and say they're going to write the complete paintless dent repair estimate. And if it needs a body shop, that's a customer that they're grasping that they usually wouldn't have. Um, and it seems like I just started last month. It seems like it's working out okay. There's going to be growing pains with the pricing. You're using a price guide. You're giving them all the tools to really try to generate those numbers, but it's going to be a trial and error. They're going to learn just like we do. I mean, there's jobs that I've priced over a text message to where I've gotten there and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So, those jobs you're just going to have to take with the wind, and keep trying to teach them to get out there. That I think the biggest thing in our business is the teaching end of it. A lot of guys sit back and they're like, oh, I'm not good enough to teach. It's educating. It's not even the teaching end of it. You're educating your insurance adjusters, you're educating your body shop adjusters, you're educating your customer. The more you educate your customer, the more comfortable they are with you. So, I think the information that's out there right now with all the podcasts and all the information online and just the network of people now is so much larger than it ever was before. I get calls all the time from techs. Hey, how do you do this? Or what tool do you use for that? That was the other reason I wanted to start the digest. Um, back in the day, I used to read the Reader's Digest and it would have mini stories in it. So it's the same type of idea. Just wanted to bring it more towards the reconditioning end. I'll have the detailers on there. Like I said before, insurance adjusters. It's going to be a pretty broad thing, kind of laid back, not real formal, just kind of raw. Um, you know, we're going to be doing a live show next week at Anson in Texas. I'm super, super excited. I'm flying out on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm taking the IMI hybrid certification with Vince at Anson. So I'm super excited about that information. It should be a really, really good class. I've heard a lot of good things. And on Friday, they're having their open house. So it looks like it's going to be a huge, huge open house there just because of all the hail techs in the area. They're talking about doing their groundbreaking ceremony for Anson. That should be super exciting because they're building a new facility for them. So I really think it's going to be probably one of their best open houses that they've had. Uh, I've got a really amazing guest next week. So you see him on Facebook all the time. He's an amazing guy. He's been in the industry for some time. He's been pushing forever. He's a graveyard man. I mean, he just literally is just a great guy. So that it's going to be a super exciting show next week. Um, just keeping it out there. The other thing I want to name is I'm doing a tool giveaway for this show. And how this tool giveaway is going to go is we are going to do the last comment on the YouTube page by Monday, April 15th at 8:59. So the last comment at 8:59 wins the hanger. We're going to send it out to you free of charge. We are giving away the Endeavor Tools door hanger. So when you comment for this, I need you to comment Endeavor Tools, Endeavor Dent Tools, and it has to be in the comments of the actual YouTube page. It cannot be in the live chat. So it has to be in the comments. So after this show ends, then you guys can start commenting to generate the comments. But it's the last comment. So if you comment at 9 o'clock, you missed it by 1 minute. So we're giving away the Endeavor Dent Tools door hanger. So I want to give a quick little review on this thing. I've been using it for about a year. The build quality on this hanger is awesome. If you don't have one, you are missing out. One thing I really like about it is it has this ratcheting system on the backside. And what it is, it's super precise on how it's set. One thing that I like a lot is, you get your door hanger in there and you hook it up and it's usually got a straight bar that comes across. Usually you're working like this to where it's angled. With this, you can adjust it to where it's straight because you can adjust this one higher than this one. Tool really doesn't slide. It's kind of a nice rubber material, stays well planted on there. It's an awesome hanger. Just the build quality on these, it's an awesome, awesome tool. So we're going to be giving this thing away to a lucky watcher, follower, subscriber, and we're going to do things periodically throughout the next few months. You're going to see some different giveaways, some different opportunities for guys that are out there. Next week, definitely join us. We're going to be doing live at Anson with a special guest. You guys are going to be very shocked. It should be another really raw video. And, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, make sure you comment. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Keep it real, guys. See you next time. Thank you.